And well, the latest coming in, the burial procession of slain Iranian General Qassem Soleimani has begun. There are live visuals coming in from his hometown in Kerman. Thousands have taken to the streets holding Soleimani's portraits in their hands. Well, in the last 4 days, we have seen massive demonstrations in different cities of Iran, all of which was to culminate in Kerman, which is the hometown of Qassem Soleimani, the military general who was slain by the US in an airstrike on Friday. Qassem Soleimani is revered as a military general, is revered as a patriot, someone who has fought the Iran-Iraq war and also fought against the ISIS. The public sentiment that we see pouring onto the streets of Iran and now in Kerman in Iran, which is the birthplace of Qassem Soleimani, goes on to highlight the respect that the people of Iran seem to have for Soleimani. Although on the other hand, the US viewed Soleimani as a terrorist and accused him of having American blood on his hands. And it has now been 4 days since the death of Iranian General Qassem Soleimani, and today is the funeral of the general. And supporters who have been demonstrating for several days now have arrived to be part of the funeral ceremony. Just earlier today, when the mortal remains of Soleimani and other officials who were slain in this airstrike arrived in Kerman, you had crowds rushing in to have a last glimpse, or at least have an opportunity to touch the coffins. And now holding up flags and placards and posters, these supporters of Soleimani have gathered to pay their last respects to him. Well, it has now been 4 days since the death of Iranian General Qassem Soleimani, and tributes have poured in from across the Islamic Republic for one of their most revered generals. The coffins of assassinated military commander and his deceased companions were given a military band salute when they arrived at Kerman. Meanwhile, in an emotional act, dozens of mourners reached out to touch the coffin. Mourning events were held nationwide in cities including Ahvaz, Qom, Mashhad and Tehran. The first procession started in the Iranian city of Ahvaz. Thousands of people gathered at the mosque to bid their hero a last goodbye. People carrying Iranian flags could be seen crying while bidding farewell to their general. Soleimani's remains were brought to Qom after a city-wide funeral procession in the capital city of Tehran. Iran President Rouhani and Iran Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khamenei were seen paying their last respects. Khamenei was also seen getting emotional during the funeral. Soleimani's successor to the Quds force, Ismail Qani, had also joined the two during the final prayers. Qani was seen crying and kissing the coffin of his former commander. He said that the functioning of the Quds force will be unchanged from the time of his predecessor. The funeral procession for the deceased general is mourned by millions and is said to be the largest in which Iran honors a single man with a multi-city ceremony. Mourners were also seen chanting "Death to America" as they gathered in a prayer hall in Tehran. And now, even as we speak, the funeral procession has begun in Kerman in Iran. And thousands of citizens who are supporters of Qassem Soleimani are participating to mourn the death of the military general.